Good evening, everybody, and good morning to the US and South American folks that side of town and the earth, whatever. I've got a couple of guys here with me, Mac, Justin, Rab, Uncle John. This, I almost said movie, this stream is actually based on the request from Krister that we need to do a winter ops, even if we just do it as a test, because we don't know if the Zibo is capable of handling it right now for various reasons, and window heat seems to be something that keeps on cropping up every now and then. So I haven't done much. I haven't even started my airside services. I'm literally just on ground power, batteries on. I did my alignment of the IRS, and obviously, and for those guys that don't know this, before you go very far in your whole setup, you have to switch your window heaters on, and you leave them on until you're done with your flight and switching off on the other side. Okay, so I just want to make that point very clear, because I was stunned to learn that some of the guys here on Discord did not know that you have to switch those things on and leave them on. It's imperative. Those window heaters must be on from the beginning to the end. So let's quickly start up airside services, and then we'll talk through the plans. Let's get Navigraph on screen, yeah. Right, so there's Navigraph. Let's move it a little bit. Make it slightly bigger. All right, the guys on Discord, I'm not streaming that to you. Do you want me to stream it to you as well? Why don't we do it? And then everybody can see it. Change window. Sorry, change screens. All right, sorry guys in Discord, just reconnect to the stream there. Hello, Scotsman, and there is Dave. You're going to miss out if you get drunk now, eh? But anyway, enjoy if you want to. Okay, so first of all, this is the flight. We're going to do Helsinki, Vantaa to Stockholm, Arlanda. And the reason is when I picked it, it was snowing and all kinds of crap weather. I'm not sure an hour later if it's still like that. We're going to have to see. We're going to just have to quickly have a look-see. Let's have a look-see. Broken. That I think is significant. Dew point and temperature both 0. If we check on this side, we've got -2 and -2, so they are the same. This one is reporting when we land that we're going to have snow at Arlanda, so we're going to have to take things like this into account. All right, so that is the basic idea, the basic flight plan. The next thing that we need to look at is where do we do de-icing, okay? Hey, UVP. De-icing is not always done at the gate or in the taxiway. There are some airports like this one, they have designated de-icing facilities. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the one set of winter ops to get from our parking down to there, and then we're going to move over to the next set of the checklist, the different way of doing it after de-icing. Okay. And that is in a nutshell what we're going to do. Now, in the past, the de-icing fluid gave 45 minutes hot. We are going to keep an eye on the wings as we go, because if there is icing, obviously it's going to rapidly diminish as you take off and go through the air now. It won't be 45 minutes, because that will be the end of the flight. So in the air, it rapidly diminishes, but if we can spot something and get something on record, that would be nice. The snow doesn't build up on the wing. Okay, yeah, I get it. All right. Yeah, so we're just going to put a couple of things through here and see what happens, see what we get back. Yeah, we're going to have a look at all of that. So let's quickly move Navigraph out of the way. Cargo is loading. Sorry?
The icing worked perfect for me.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna do our thing, see what it does. You can clearly see there's icing all over this place. Okay, let's get into this request.
Well pleased with it.
Right, before we go too far, let's just load this thing. I want to show you my training checklist. Okay, it's old, it needs a revamp, but for our purposes here, it's perfect. And if you don't have it, please get a copy from my private hangar. Eh? The link is in the description below the video if you click on show more. All right, okay, so let's have a look quickly. Adobe. Right, so wing and engine anti-ice usage. This is the first page that is going to be of any significance to us. That's page 19 of the training checklist. Okay, so what it basically tells us, let's move this thing quickly. What it basically tells us is if our temperature is in a certain range, we need to operate in a certain way. Okay, and then we will be happy. If we don't operate in that way, we're not going to be happy because somebody's going to die virtually in the flight sim. Right. So what it tells us is we are going to operate between 1 and 10 according to what we just saw. So what it tells us is engine and wing anti-ice will come on when we start to taxi. All right, but we will taxi with flaps up. We don't want to have little crevices, holes and things where water can get into and then ice up on us, and then we interrupt the working of all the moving parts. All right, wing anti-ice must be on. There's the whole story. It comes from the FCOM. All right, so what we're going to do then is we're going to taxi anyway to the de-icing bay, because by the time we get there, we're probably going to hit the zero again. So regardless, we're going to go to the de-icing spray, and then we're going to literally, I mean, it's the same procedure basically. All right, all we're going to do then is we're going to have them spray us, and then everybody can see what it looks like and stuff like that. So this is how we're going to get out of here. Right, so let's check. Arrival is going to be 01, right? And there is that transition. Let's get the packs on board. All right, I'm probably just going to fiddle with that at the end to spectre myself a little better, because that is one heck of a turn to make. Or, okay, don't just bear with me. I don't do this every day. We can maybe try this. We can say TEB, and TEB, the course heading is 246 coming from there. Okay, I'm just going to guess. Mac, which one comes first, the distance or the radial? I can't remember.
Radio.
Okay, so let's just make it 250. We'll see where we end up now. 5. Right, no, we don't want that over there. So 200. 200. 10. That's a little bit better. We're getting closer to where I want to be. We can make it a little bit obscure. So we're going to choose DEP. Then we're going to go, let's say, 185 at 10. Yeah, that's better. Right, then we're going to go like that. And there you go. Now we've built ourselves a new little path. That's better than having that awkward, stupid, silly angle, right?
270 degree that was, wasn't it? The other one.
Sorry, what do you mean?
That
I changed.
turn.
Yeah, no, that was a heavy one. Yeah, exactly. It's very heavy. So we're going to move out of there. All right, request. Might as well delete that, clear, delete. And we need to go tell this thing that we're going to need that, right, for your anti-skidding and stuff, right? Then we can go and do this.
Ready for pre-flight procedure.
Yeah, I haven't calculated it yet. Let's have a look, see. It's minus 15. Minus 15 ISO deviation. That's the inverted one, the normal. Right, how far are we? We're getting close, so let's start our APU.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
And if I knew, I hope I'm making the right decision now. I think I seem to recall that would be the way to go. Wait, don't be a dummy, go check.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
I was right.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Before start procedure.
Some doors are still opened or the GPU or the ASU are still connected. I'm waiting for all of them closed and disconnected, then I will proceed.
I think what's his name just did. I
Hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
never checked this. Now it's loaded. I was just that few seconds too quick. Okay.
Before start procedure complete.
Right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Ready for before start checklist. Trim up.
All right, I am gonna have to redo this. You know what? I'm not sure.
Toe connected and release pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Give me a second, guys. I need to check something quickly. Nah, that comes later. So. Yeah, it's very icy. You can see. We're gonna have to be very careful with the taxi. Right, so we've done that. 147. Okay, release parking brake.
Starting pushback and you may start engines.
Start number 2 engine.
Starting number 2 engine.
I half expected to see frost around the edge of those windows. Or is there no moisture about or something?
There's supposed to be moisture, but remember, I'm using active sky and not explain weather, so I think that could be the difference, Uncle John.
Okay.
There's no
25 and
dampness in the air, because when Nico had to look outside, it was crystal clear.
Yeah.
That was my question.
Yeah, I didn't see any visible moisture as such. There's no mist, there's no cloud where we are, there's nothing, you know?
So it's a dry cold.
Yeah, exactly, dry cold. So, and like Scotsman says, it's not snowing, so it won't freeze up. Right, there's 25 into.
Plus the fact that temperature's, what, Nico?
It's 0.
It's
Temperature is zero.
only just freezing, John, so the
Yeah.
window age should cope.
Yeah, agreed.
No, I hope not, Dave. I hope not. I'll slap her fingers.
starter cutout.
Start number 1 engine.
Starting number 1 engine.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
How's it, Krister? I'm doing your flight for you.
25 and 2.
Yeah, we need to make sure everything works. By the way, while I'm thinking about it, Rovaniemi, do you know anything that we don't? Are we doing Rovaniemi again this year? I hope so too. Right.
Tow is
Before
disconnected
taxi
and
procedure.
bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the
Before
left.
taxi
We'll see you
procedure.
next time and have a safe flight.
Before taxi procedure complete. I am ready for before taxi checklist.
Right, okay. So just a quick recap for everybody that joined late. That's where we are. Obviously, these are the de-icing bays in the light blue over there. We're going to go there and do the de-icing. Then we're going to get on the runway and take off. So we're going to do full service. Excellent. Krister, we'll make a plan, yeah? I just think it was a good tradition. All right. Why do we have that? Did we forget the damper? Yes, we did. All right, we need to be at 32. Yes, just check. 32, yes, that was wrong. All right. Who dares wins? Let's try. Yeah, Dave, we had, and I hope we still have, a Christmas fly-in into Rovaniemi, and then IVO, the skies are crowded, man. I tell you, my worst hold one of the years was like 45 minutes just waiting for a chance to get in. So I'm not sure where this line is going. We need to continue. I'm not sure. We'll hopefully pick it up. There's a line there again, yes. With those lights there in front, that's where we get our de-icing.
Use your Navigraph, Nicker. You'll have all your layouts.
Uncle John, I'm looking at it, and the problem is, look, it is good, but it's also not that good. Because look at this now. Now it's a bit of a blind spot. So I'm going to go this way, and hopefully we can find a link, because otherwise, you see, there's a building. It's difficult to gauge from the Navigraph chart which way to go. It actually now looks, you know, visually it looks like we need to go to the right, because that building is in the way. So let's go follow that green line over there. I'll cut some corners. If it was daytime, maybe I could have seen it better, but not that easy. This is default scenery, Christer, as far as I remember. I'm not sliding, not at this time. But I mean, I'm going very slow, huh? Hey, Nevada rocks. You guys, you know what? We're sitting here talking and we're not doing it properly. Need to have the wing and the engine anti-ice on. That's what the checklist says. You understand the predicament now? Ay. And we've got the flaps up. That I did correctly.
Cabin crew, take your seats, prepare for takeoff.
All right. Yeah, and look, we've got poles in the taxiway here. We're going to drive straight to this pole now. See, there's a light pole there in the taxiway. We'll pretend it is a figment of our imagination. No, the trim is adjusted, but when we get to the icing bay, we have to set it to 5 because they need to clean it out nicely and make sure we don't get ice and crap in the little openings between the surfaces. That'll be cool, Christer. All right, so we need to just pick a bay now. Might as well take this one. I'm just gonna go a little bit forward and then stop. Then we'll get that checklist back on. Right, so remember we forgot the engine and wing anti-ice because we were talking too much. You guys must not do that. All right, I'm just gonna stop right here. Right, so let's get that checklist back on screen. Right, so we were supposed to taxi with anti-ice and wing anti-ice on. There you see I did fix it at the end. All right, so it is there. We were taxiing with flaps up exactly as the FCOM tells us, and obviously we skipped that one until the end. Right, so now we need to skip a couple of things here. There's some common sense that needs to be used. Then for basic simmers, you can use this page. I'm going to use the full FCOM one. All right, so assuming that the engines are running, switch the wing and engine anti-ice off. So we're going to do that. All right, we're switching it off. My parking brake is set and I'm on idle on the engines. Right. APU must be off unless required. Okay, so we need the APU at this point in time. No, we don't. We've got engines running. Right, so that was a quick check there. The APU is off. All right, it is off. Flaps must be up. Yes, we did check it just now. Let's move this thing a little bit again. So we've got more view. All right, flaps is up. All right. Thrust levers idle. Yes, they are. Stabilizer trim must be 5 units. So it's like neutral. And then Linda will have to set it later again. All right, there we go. There's 5 units. Right, bleed air switches. Both must be off. You don't want those fumes coming through and disturbing the people in the cabin. You're going to choke. All right, bleed air off. Just realized she switched the light off. Might as well have the light on. We can switch it off later. Right, then APU bleed air. That is also off. There is no APU bleed air. It's off. On the tablet, start the de-icing. Ground services, start the de-icing.
We have started the de-icing procedure.
Right, it's going to take 3 minutes for the procedure to complete.
Out of interest, is there any colour on the wing, Nico?
No, it's clear. There's no ice with it.
No, it should be green or...
You mean for the fluid?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I think the fluid, the texture needs a fix because it's blowing black, Mac.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, this texture here is not right. Yeah, Dave, we're going to get to that. You're running it a bit ahead of schedule, but you're right. After the de-icing has stopped, you need to wait 1 minute before turning the bleeds back onto the on position. Yeah, well, then the wing is in the way. I think that's it. I think they're done. No, still busy.
Haven't done the fuselage yet.
Mac, they only do the wings. It's only been animated on the wings. There's nothing on the elevators and there's nothing on the fuselage.
Okay.
Christopher, I have no idea. This is on the southern end of the airport, just the de-ice bays. All right, if you look at that designator there is a Zulu taxiway, and that's a 812. So I don't know if that 812 is the designator for this line over here, but I'm sure you can figure that one out. There we go, done.
De-icing procedure complete.
I can't read it, it's too small. It's a terrible small font. Let me get closer. Yeah, it's 812. 812 is correct. It's exactly what it says there on that board in front, 812. It's the same on Navigraph. Let me show you. 812. Man, I would love to just get this a little bit bigger because I really have to squint my eyes to see what the hell it says. Right, okay, so 1 minute timer. We were supposed to switch it on already, but we'll give it a minute. Thanks, Christer. Right, we're just going to wait a minute out. I think if they can make the font to automatically enlarge the closer you zoom in. I mean, for me, it's just logical that somebody with bad eyesight is going to zoom in as far as possible, you know? And then there's got to be like an inverse in those little things where they realize, oh, now we need to go bigger. All right, so we're just going to go out slightly to the left and then onto that runway. Good. After a minute, yeah, okay, we've gotten a minute. Listen. Look at this. I want to show you something. There you go. Let's get back onto that checklist. So we have now gone through the 1 minute, and now we can switch the bleeds back on. See, it says there, wait 1 minute, and then you switch it back on. Right, so both bleeds go back on. Slowly cycle the control column forward to a full aft, after a minimum of 3 times. That's wrong spelling. To drain the residual. So we're gonna push this thing 3 times. There you go. I'm not sure how long you need to do it, but anyway, 3 times. Then stabilizer trim. I'm gonna ask the auntie to do her
Trim up.
trim again.
Captain, passengers are asking for a cozier temperature.
It just shows you, Christer. Right, so the bleeds are on. You don't have to worry. We just put it on. It will work now. People will get their story sorted. All right, engine anti-ice. Both go on. All right. Wing anti-ice remain off. All right, you see there. Then taxi with flaps up and wing anti-ice must be off because we used the fluids. Okay, so let's go. All right, and because we are 3 degrees or lower on the temperature, we're going to do the supplemental runway entry procedure now as well. I just scrolled past it in my checklist. Yeah, there we go. Interesting. All right, so supplemental runway entry procedure for 3 degrees and below, and that's why I miss it. Set the parking brake. Check trim and flaps for takeoff. So now 1, 2, 3, we're gonna set our flaps. Takeoff procedure. Before takeoff procedure. Sorry.
Before takeoff procedure.
Weather radar can come on.
Ready for before taxi procedure.
That's because of the flaps, so we've got flaps 5 now.
Before takeoff procedure complete.
All right, so let's read through.
Before takeoff checklist.
We need to release the parking brake. We're going to quickly do a takeoff config test. We didn't have an alarm there, so that's all done. All right, we're not going to set the parking brake again because we don't have ATC. We're going to go onto the runway and then we're going to hold N1 for 30 seconds at 70%. And that's going to blast out anything that might be a problem in that engine. Remember, if you're flying online, those guys might not know about this procedure, so just be courteous and explain to them if they need to learn.
Runway 04 right confirm. On runway 04 right.
Scotsman, I must be honest with you. I don't know if it's just because I was, driving so slowly, but I actually didn't have any skidding issues that I'm aware of. Dave, the checklist is in my private hangar. If you go into the Zibo section, somewhere there you'll see the training checklist. That's it. That's what I'm using. Yeah, it's just good manners to tell the guys, You're right, Krister. Probably, but there is definitely icing on this runway, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. Park just in front of the numbers, yeah. Right. Okay, so we're going to spool up to 70% N1. And we're gonna run it for 30 seconds.
Stabilized.
Yeah, Scotsman, yeah, I know. We're getting there. But we have to test it to make sure this thing works now. So this is a good start. Right, coming up to 30 seconds now, and we can clear that, switch on here, and Itoga, let's go.
Takeoff thrust set. Throttle hold. V1. Rotate. Positive rate.
Scotsman, at the time of me picking this route, both sides had snow.
Acceleration altitude.
And obviously in time the weather has moved. Thank you.
Flaps 1 set. Flaps up and set.
Right, we can switch off the anti-ice here because there is, apart from that little bit of cloud, there is no real moisture here.
Approaching transition. Transition altitude.
Yeah, that was cool. I did notice it briefly. Nothing. Thanks for reminding me.
Flight level 100. Landing lights switches off. Logo lights.
Yeah, you're a good one.
off.
Must tell you that. Okay, UVP, thanks for joining. Stay well. How's it, Dave? Sorry, I think I was muted. Anyway, I say there's the rain and the weather and all, so now we're gonna have to keep an eye on these wings. Welcome, Dave. Yeah, I saw that.
Takeoff was great. We will see your landing.
Yeah, baby steps is a good thing, especially if I have to unmute myself. But yes, yeah, correct. We can't tilt, so we can't see the altitude that these things are. Once 1.4, X-Plane 12.1.4 comes, hopefully that'll be fixed. I must be honest, I keep it muted because I started yawning. And I don't want you guys to fall asleep there with me, Somebody's got to be awake to shout when we need to descend or something,
They do something about the blizzard effect when you get rain and snow on the front.
Mm.
It's hypnotic. It's horrible. We get some frost shortly, and they come with that ahead here.
Well, we don't know at what altitude it is, Uncle John. If we go through it, we will. Yes, Scotsman, I agree with that. Don't worry, don't worry. Thanks, Christer. Let's see. Christer, our only problem is that's what we've got. I don't have an add-on for Helsinki. I'm not aware of an add-on for X-Plane 12 for Helsinki. In X-Plane 11 we had, but not now. So I'll have to go fish and see if we can get an add-on maybe from Aerosoft or somewhere. I don't know. I'll have to check. Vaughn, I'm glad. That's nice feedback. Thank you so much. If you watch this one from the beginning, it's going to give you a couple of lessons for winter ops as well. There's one thing I haven't mentioned. Let's just get that on the screen as well. This is very important. So when you are in the air, your engine anti-ice switches comes on with visible moisture and icing conditions. And when you hit minus 40 and it goes minus 41, you need to switch them off. They'll have no effect. The wing anti-ice is only used below 35,000 foot. You do not keep them on because ice will build around the boots. And when you switch it on, you use it to kick the ice off. That's all. Then you switch them off again. You guys need to remember this because otherwise your bleed is going to trip in the air if you use your wing anti-ice incorrectly. Okay. Thanks, Christer. All right, now we need to see 72 miles for top of descent, so there's not much time to waste. Let's actually start setting up. Christer, I don't know. I'm flying sporadically. Don't hurry on it. It's not necessary. I can't see myself flying here in the next week again, you know. So take it easy. Just take it easy. Right, what else do we need to do? Yeah, SSR -2 -2 0981. Let's go check this deviation thingy. We have -2, so now it's on. -17, and where did I read it? What is that value? 0981. 981. And now we're gonna have to do the temperature compensation, guys. We're really gonna have to do that. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see. So now, let's get our weights. 2.7. It's 9. 9. So we're gonna be at 64. That's the one. Now, let's check that thing. It's got snow and everything, so we're gonna say a very poor runway condition. Then we're gonna say, well, that's forecast -3. We can leave it at that, and then the airport elevation. What is that runway elevation? Let's just go have a look. See. Ugh, damn it. Runway elevation, same as airport, 138. All right, look, there's quite a bit of difference, a couple of feet difference. All right, so let's go back. It's anyway, go to the legs page. Okay. Okay, whatever. (138) is the airport and runway elevation. 138. Right, so we've got the V speeds. Let's quickly go and check. 0981. 81 there. Minimums, we're going to set up for Cat 3. I'm not even going to take a chance because if we need to auto land, we need to auto land. So
Ready for descent procedure.
we won't set the minimums. We want it on radio anyway. It's not going to make a difference if we don't set anything. We need to descend to 2,500. 2,500. All right. Right, so we need to go 139.35, 139.35, and course heading is 4. Right. So that is set both sides, so we can use auto land like that. No, I didn't set the HUD up, eh? I'm not used to flying with the HUD, Scotsman. I'm just really not used to flying with it. Why is the brightness not turning? I have to click it again. Oh, there we go. All right. 2,500 enter. 138.3. There you go. You have to enable it. You have to enable the HSGS HUD, whatever they call it in the EFB HUD. If you enable it, it must have it. That's got nothing to do with the livery. This unit you see in front and that unit, they tie together. They're from the same system. So if you have the HUD enabled, it must have it. Unless the livery purposefully, you know, is overwriting that little panel, you know. But then it still means it is in there. You just can't see it because of the actual panel. That's a good way of saying it. Okay, just excuse me for a minute quickly.
Approach top of descent.
I'm back.
Can you just have a quick look at your duct pressures, please, Nico? Okay, thank you.
Here's the rain again. We're in it now.
And you've got the frost, haven't you?
There's no icing yet. We'll probably pick up some now, yes. But if we descend fast enough, it won't build up. Remember what Sasso said. You descend fast enough, you're okay. But look at those wings. Look at that flex. That poor old guy sitting there looking, looking out that window. He's saying there, please, Lord, just don't let that thing break off. Please, please get me on the ground. I don't want to be a bird anymore. -2, Scotsman, and the dew point is also -2, so that is dangerous. Yeah, I hope the duct tape works. You know, that aviation tape. As far as I know, I can't remember switching it off. No. Oh, thank you for reminding me, because I was under the impression I just left it on. Oh no, I didn't. Now I remember, I did switch it off. See, very important to have a co-pilot. It's on auto, so it should be. And Linda also sets it usually. Can't really see there. Let's go have a look. See, yeah, it's on auto. So in this case, I would rather put it on flight because of the water, you know, because then you have both of the burners going. Both of the igniters. Hey, now it's gone.
Suddenly you're out of the cloud.
Yeah. Yeah, flight means both of your igniters run. Continuous just means one igniter run. Now you always use the FLT flight mode is when you have lots of water that goes through there in case you've got a flame out, it can ignite better to get it going again. Uncle John?
Yes, sir.
See, my triangles are white. You see, I'm going to pull them back to about 58%.
Okay.
All right, that's a guess. Okay. And then what will happen is that white line is probably going to be at 60 or 61. And then all I do is I move it forward, make it go blue, pull it back, and then I have control over that edge, and then I write it down.
Gotcha.
Dave, that is the right way of doing it. But now they've got this new auto function, you know, so auto is auto. We'll switch them on when we need them again. Yeah. You're gonna need it when you step out this aircraft, promise you. That's one thing I can always remember from flying. We go up 10,500 feet, we fly around here, it's nice, temperature, wonderful, and then you land back at Wonderboom. You open that door, or you just get on that runway, sometimes it eats already, but you open that door, it's like it's the inverse of opening a fridge freezer. I mean, that heat just eats you. Dave, that's the very reason I didn't mention the screeching and the noise coming from the back where those poor blokes were turned into fur coats, man. You know, sometimes you just don't say something out loud. Yeah, better not. The YouTube algorithm might, you know, flag us for dangerous terrorists or something, you know. And all we're doing is just joking. Shame. Mm. Nothing. Nothing.
I don't know whether you can invoke the weather radar or the weather on Navigraph, but I believe north of Stockholm you might find cloud, Nico, and rain.
Yeah, Mac, Stockholm itself was heavy under the snow and stuff earlier. It's still in the meter, it says snow. Okay. I'm looking at the weather radar now, and I mean, there's quite a bit of things that can happen there. Let me just check this.
As I say,
Cover
it's
radar.
currently north of Stockholm.
Yeah, slightly. Yeah, just slightly.
So I don't know whether you want to do a deviation to go through the cloud or whatever.
Yeah. What do you mean it's not modeled? Of course, the snow, the ice on the wings are modeled. Or are we talking about something else? Oh, this wing turns an awful color when the ice gets on the. You'll immediately see it.
Just goes white. It doesn't show snow accumulation on the ground currently.
No. Yeah, only in the air. I've shown it in some of my videos, Dave, but trust me, it's there. Go fly in icing conditions, you'll see. Immediately you'll see it. You can't miss it. Very pronounced.
The other one is the first indication is a build-up of ice on the windscreen wiper nut.
Yeah, but I don't think that's modeled in the Zibo Mac.
It is. It was there the other day.
Okay, then Zibo added it because I spoke to him and I asked him to put it there. Then he did, but it wasn't before I asked him like a week or two ago.
Oh, maybe it's disappeared again. For anybody who's interested, roughly the weather radar goes out to about 40 miles and the angle of the view is 3 degrees.
Dave, sorry. Okay, the XHSI is an interface for the displays for the Zibomod, for the guys who build home cockpits. Yeah, thank you, Scotsman. It's probably going to be plus and minus 3. Is it on that 3 degrees you were talking about, or is it just 1.5 up and so it's 1.5 up, 1.5 down? Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you
Flight
need
level
the
100.
tilt to be
Landing
able to
lights
play
switches
around
off.
with it.
Yeah, to get the indication right. Yeah. Mark's landing, not anymore. I gave up my wings many years ago. This is how I live my dream right now. It's just this way. Flight simming. And drinking coffee. Yeah.
Flaps 1 set.
Mark, I started off with Cessnas like so many other guys, and that's basically where I ended. I never did the jets, never went any further. Through personal reasons, I had to give up on that dream, unfortunately, you know, so always dreamt of going back, but it never materialized. So what happened was, let me explain a little bit further. I got into flight simming, and like so many of you guys, grew up with PMDG, and a lot of my friends were real, you know, Boeing pilots, and I made friends with guys I wanted to make friends with, you know, and the guys taught me a lot through all the years. Even now with the Zibo project, I mean, Sasso, to name just one guy, there's so many other guys I can name that have, you know, shaped my knowledge, you know. And I mean, I fly this thing, I've got probably 8,000 plus hours now on this airframe. So, I mean, you learn. I read a lot, I watch a lot of videos, and I listen a lot, man. And then obviously behind the scenes with the development, you know, we talk to these guys a lot. It's very helpful. Yeah, it's not financially possible to have it as a hobby. Yeah. If I want to fly right now, I can probably buy a paraglider, you know, put the the lawnmower engine on my back and go run off a cliff. I think I can afford that, but fixed wing, things like that, that boat is past there.
Transition level. Ready for approach checklist.
Yeah, ever so slightly, Scotsman. It's going to come back now. The reason I lost the profile is because I pulled the flaps. Yeah, we good, don't worry.
Just to quantify now, the weather radar beam is dependent on the side of the weather radar fitted. The NG has had 3 diameter radars. Currently the NG and the MAX have a 30-inch dish, and that's restricted to 3 degrees beam height, 3 degrees beam width. The 28.4 version, which could be fitted to some NGs, is 5.4 degrees beam height and beam width.
Evening.
Hello. Woo, Star Wars. Here we go. There's your ice, Dave. Look, you can immediately see the ice. Look, it's totally different color, you see?
Better get that anti-icing on.
Look, it's going to disappear now, you'll see. There you go, gone.
There.
Nico tried to put window seat off. See what happens.
Have a look at the nut as well, can you, Nico? There's a little bit. Is that a bit of white on it? No?
Negative, no.
No. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, latest releases, I think there's something.
Your mic is bad, Antonio. Can you try fix your mic? We're struggling to hear you, eh?
Is it better now?
Yes. Much.
Okay.
Try again. What did you say?
Yeah, I was just saying, Nico, I did some tests lately with latest releases, and yeah, we came from ice on the windows even if Windows 8 was on, to no ice even if Windows 8 was off. So yeah. But I think Zibo knows the issue.
He does, because I asked him earlier. He said he has not looked at the window anti-ice yet. Okay, so it's still old code.
He's unfortunately extremely busy with work at the moment, so
he gets his moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Or maybe fortunately for him.
Radio
Yeah, definitely fortunately for him.
What's the current outside temperature, Nico?
Mac, that is -1.
Yeah, I would be probably -5, probably, Mac.
Yeah.
Probably not cold enough yet, really.
Giuliano. No, I haven't flown the iFly Max yet, no. Look at those particles, they're bigger. And you can see, look here, the ice is starting to form. Look, there's definitely ice there on the window. Look, definitely. You can see it's forming there.
Okay.
We're in the snow now, eh?
Your seats, prepare for landing.
You got residual heat from before you turn.
Probably, yeah.
And also, the metal on the outside causes that condensation on the edge.
Yeah.
Okay, you agreed, Antonio, turn the windscreen heat on, see if it gets rid of that?
I've turned it on, Mac. I have turned it on.
Okay.
Feet stabilized, Mr. Birch altitude set.
Yes, land 3. Right, Uncle John, are you there?
I'm watching.
Right, so look, you see the white little triangles? Look where that white line is. Yep. So I switch auto throttle off, I move it forward, it turns blue, now I have control.
Gotcha.
There's your runway.
500. Cleared to land runway 01 right.
500. 400.
Ice again.
300. 100. One hundred. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Speed brake up. P. Remaining. Reverse unlocked. Auto brake in use.
I closed my throttles a little bit early there. That's why we had a bit of a bump on the landing. Damn
60
it.
knots. Yet. Great landing. You are professional.
There you go. Guys, coming back to this feature of the white triangle and the blue triangle, that's just a setting in the EFB that you can go and switch off, okay? It's I think it's called Zink hardware throttle. Okay, so you can just switch it off when you don't want it. I like having it, so it's an option. You can fiddle with it. Oh, you know what's wrong? My autopilot is still on. Now I have to disconnect my autopilot. That's why I can't bloody taxi. It's fighting me. After landing procedure. Are you doing it, Linda? After landing, no, she's not listening. After landing procedure.
After landing procedure.
Hello, Asso.
After landing procedure complete.
Yeah, I agree. So there we have some snow. It's dissipating. You see, look, it's dissipating. It's almost clear. Good. Right, so coming back, we now want the wing anti-ice on. Flaps is up. And we're going to taxi to wherever we need to go back.
Flaps up and set.
Okay, let me just zoom in on my chart so I can see which way do I really want to go. Wow, this layout is weird. Okay, I see. Okay. I'm going to follow the green line. The wind is probably the other factor that's now interfering with my taxi. I mean, really, I can't taxi that bad. Give me a second. One way to check and make sure, right? Maybe we broke a nut or a bolt somewhere. Mark, I'm from South Africa. I'm in Johannesburg, South Africa. Yeah, I'm thinking it's the wind, because that wind is like 16 knots from the side. So I think that's what's causing me to struggle a little bit to taxi. I think we must just go a bit slower, maybe. We could also have a bit of that icing. It could be that I'm skidding. Hey, Scotsman? We'll see when I turn if there's an effect. I say it could be the wind or I could be skidding, but I'm struggling to taxi now. It wasn't this way at the other airport, but now I can feel it. It's got a problem. Yeah, South Africa is a beautiful place, man, and with all the wild animals and stuff we have here in the national parks, it's a nice place to visit. Yeah, no, it was a bit crazy, Scotsman. It feels better now, much better now. Who's echoing for me? Mac, have you got your TV on again?
No, nothing to do with me.
I'm not pushed to talk.
No, I can hear myself talk. Mac, just check if you're watching my stream that you switch the volume off there, because that could be where the echo comes from my stream in Discord.
Got nothing here coming from the speakers.
Oh, I don't know where. So somewhere I'm picking up an echo. It's gone now. So whatever you did, it's cool.
It was doing it earlier for me
Okay.
when we're in Discord, on the
Okay.
Discord stream.
Yeah.
Well, I could hear your heavy breathing, Mac. That was
Yeah, I'm no doubt you could hear me breathing, but no other audio here.
That's better now. It's okay. So I have absolutely no idea, my friend. No idea what to say to you. If the normal calibration things don't work, no idea. Mark, it all depends on what you want. If you want the Mediterranean effect, you go for North Africa because you've got Tunisia and Morocco and all those places. It's Mediterranean kind of, seashore, sand, beaches, those kind of things. If you want the animals, you come south. I mean, you've got South Africa, you've got Zimbabwe, you've got Tanzania, Zambia, Kenya, all full of animals. Botswana, Namibia, it's all on the southern end. You know what? I'm just gonna go into this parking. Kruger Park is down right here south. North from where I am, but it is in South Africa, yes. Lovely place, but I haven't been there for many years, eh? There you go.
Ready for shutdown.
Yeah, I enjoyed this flight. I don't know what I proved and what I didn't prove. Someone else can evaluate that. But I mean, I did a flight in snow and rain and cold, and I didn't have any issues. That's the worst that happened to me. Didn't have any total block out. So I'm happy.
I'm gonna say, I think that's proving windscreen anti-ice was working.
Yeah, I think the guys that complain, Mac, switch it on too late or something. They do something wrong.
Yeah.
Shutdown procedure. Yeah, I think it was a good test, Krister. I agree with you. If it works for me, it should work for everybody else. This is not a separate test version of the Zibomod. This is the one everybody's got. So, if mine works, yours must work. So the only difference is going to be procedures. unless
I thought
Antonio.
some- Yeah, I
Sorry.
was going to say, I was just going to ask Antonio, has he got any thoughts?
Yeah, I think that there's something weird in Windows 8. We have to make some more
Yeah.
tests about it
Shutdown
because
procedure
I
complete.
think that something happens when you are on the ground. So
Ready
if
for
you leave
shutdown
them off
checklist.
on the ground, especially when engines are on. But
Okay.
I have to test with version 4. Anyway, last time I tested, until you had engines off, nothing happens without Windows 8. But
Okay.
then with engines on, with Windows 8 off, you get ice on the window and it disappears with the ice on. But then in the air, something different happens. So I needed to test to record the video and to see what happens with version 4.
Excellent.
see.
Excellent.
The side frosting has gone already on the windscreens.
No, it's there. It's there.
Oh, it's still there, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a bit smaller, but anyway, Dave McGee, you're right. They never switch it off. We switch this window heater on before we get deep into setting up the aircraft, long before pushback, and you only switch it off when you're dead and cold and dark the other side. You never switch it off in the air because what it does is it heats up the windshield also for safety reasons. If you hit a bird, then it's pliable and it won't shatter. Whereas if that thing is cold, it's I mean, take a piece of ice and whack it with your finger, you'll break it. You know, same is going to happen here with this window. It has to be warm to be pliable to absorb that heat from the bird. You know, that's just one of the reasons. The other, obviously, is now the ice. You know, so those window heaters, they go on and they stay on. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to go rest now.
Yeah, thank you, Nick.
Yeah,
Pleasure. Pleasure. Thanks for watching.